Money now. Valentine's Day is on Friday. Fellas, if you haven't done your shopping already, we're not even talking to you right now. But we are talking. We are talking relationships, and we're talking money here today.
Specifically, Valentine's Day, we have our financial expert, Andy Mattingly, here to discuss how to build better financial relationships with your significant other. So it's a different conversation that you want to have. Why are financial matters so important to discuss early on? Maybe make sure you're on the same page.
Well, you know, money problems are still the number one issues that relationships and marriages break up. It's still a contributing factor. So it's really important to start early discussing those things so you can build a good foundation.
And I found that just giving all my money to my wife usually works out pretty well.
Happy wife, happy
That's
life.
right.
Exactly.
Yes,
But seriously, when should couples start having that financial discussion?
Well, you know, early on, you know, maybe you don't want to talk credit scores, but you should start talking some common things. You know, student loan debt or credit card debt, or maybe how you spend money, things like that. Those are good things early on in the relationship to see if you're compatible that way.
It's not an easy conversation to have, really. You're disclosing a lot of information. So what are some topics that you do want to discuss if it becomes more serious?
Well, if it becomes more serious, you really want to understand a person's past financial history. You know, their credit scores, what's their net worth, have they had any issues? Because as a couple, you might decide you want to buy a house and then you find out that someone has a really bad situation and you can't, then that kind of starts creating strain in the relationship.
And is that one of the biggest issues that we find when couples have, or what is some of the basic money issues that
You know, one of the biggest issues is that not understanding each other's philosophy on money, because maybe one person thinks if you're going to spend anything over $100 unplanned, we need to talk about it. And the other person in a relationship could say, well, I can spend up to $1,000 and not have to talk to you. And if that can create a lot of friction if you don't both agree on when to spend extra money.
Yeah, big topics to talk about. How should you handle financial matters, I assume, together, you know, once you get to that point in a relationship?
Yeah, the big thing is to make sure that everyone is an equal partner in the decision-making process. Some couples will let whoever makes the most money make those decisions, and that's really not going to work long-term. That creates a lot of animosity and maybe even apathy. So it's really good if you just equal regardless of your income level.
Rip the Band-Aid off, have the conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, but just giving money to my wife thing has been working, so I'm just going to stick with that
that's good.
for a little while. All right, Andy Mattingly, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back.